Good day there, Wealth Press viewers, subscribers, traders, and investors. It's time for another midweek update. My guest, as usual, in the middle of the week is Mr. Lance Ippolito. Lance, how are you doing today?
Fantastic.
So let's talk about our markets here. Everything's on fire again because, well, nobody cares about the election anymore. That's yesterday's news. And so we're back to making money without any concern for what's going on in the rest of the world. So tell me how you're making money today.
You know, it's, I can't believe I'm about to say it's hard, but it's almost difficult to hit the buy button up here. You know, we have zero volatility in the markets. We have zero put buying from an order flow perspective. And it is just call buying galore and short dated options to see what sector are we going to prop up today in the markets. Will it be tech? Will it be airliners? Will it be metals and mining? Pick your poison. That's the theme of the day. And stocks only go up, apparently.
Yeah, so this is the thing. Increasingly, it's not hubris to say stocks only go up in this day and age.
It's really not. It's you would think, there'd be a pullback or a dip. I mean, I'm even saying like 20, 30 points lower in the S&P. But if we do, it lasts for about 15 minutes and then bought right back up to green.
Yeah. Amazing. So then so I guess the topic of conversation is, where are you making the most money? Since we're making money everywhere, where's the most money being made today?
I like little junk retailers. And what I mean by that is it's kind of your holiday season, get ready for Santa Claus, what stock was beat down so much that needs to rally. And, you could have a balance of short covering and a combination of, the holiday season, people are going to go to malls or shop online to get clothes. So I like names like Under Armour. I actually bought calls in it today, and they have a new shoe coming out with Stephon Curry, the popular basketball player, to try to rival Nike with the LeBron shoe, and then obviously the Air Jordans and such like that. So it's a 16 and change dollar stock. It's not at a 52-week high. It's not one of these tech stocks that just are soaring. And I'm just trying to find a catalyst, like a new shoe coming out or going into the Christmas time period, and looking at short dated options, trying to get that big pop and have those options explode in value.
No doubt. All right. Well, then, so is there anywhere that you could say that we definitely shouldn't be sticking money into? Is there any segment or sector that is just a dog in this otherwise uniformly sunny disposition market?
I still think banks are just like a dirty dog of a sector. Yes, you've had Wells Fargo, probably the worst bank in the world, come off its low, but I don't see really anything positive for the banks. Chuck Schumer came out today and was talking about a double dip recession. I don't see any catalyst for the banks, and obviously interest rates, they're not going anywhere. Instead of banks, something that's been kind of beat down recently that's starting to bounce is actually your gold and silver names, even palladium names out there. Those are something that I find more attractive, and a quote safe haven if the markets do let's say take a big downturn suddenly.
Mm-hmm. Wow. So then do you think the buying in the precious metals and the is a result of the fact that they're anticipating another round of stimulus?
I do. More dollars in circulation, therefore, if you look at our dollar, I mean, if you look at the US dollar, I mean, that's a chart and a half. I think, people are anticipating some round of stimulus, therefore that should be good for metals. And, Europe and the commodity gold capital up there in Canada. So, you probably have a better view of some of these junior miners and such. But yeah, I actually find them really attractive here. Not only for the short term, like let's say, mid-January we get a stimulus, but I really think for, all of 2021, that could be kind of the big story is the move into metals.
Right. Yeah, well, I could certainly see that. I mean, we've got gold as took it on the chin and is kind of clawing its way back now. Do you think that there's going to be a divergence of interest away from precious metals towards cryptocurrencies in view of the fact that this new generation of alternative currency asset oriented people are going to be more attracted to something more appropriate for their generation rather than their father's alternative monetary asset?
That's a really good point you brought up. I'm still, the Bitcoins had a phenomenal run, and I get that, like names like PayPal have opened up and it's starting to get more mainstream attention, so to speak. And then obviously the millennials and everything going digital. But from a risk versus reward point of view, Bitcoin's already made its basically parabolic move 2.0 with the recent rally. If you look at something like gold, which is bouncing right off the 200-day moving average, right around 1800, I like that risk versus reward or some of the other metals more than Bitcoin. I'm just not a buyer of Bitcoin up here, so to speak.
Yeah, of all the overbought assets out there, Bitcoin certainly ranks among the highest, no matter how supportive you are of its value proposition as a alternative currency, I guess, eh?
Right, and I look at it this way too. Let's say beginning or middle of 2021, stocks sell off. I mean, I'm not even calling a bear market. Let's just say 10, 20% or so off these parabolic highs, some kind of corrections or some kind of volatility kicking up. You will have Bitcoin and that cryptocurrency market probably fall at a faster rate than, let's say, stocks. People are going to start pulling money out of crypto and liquidating because they need some capital, and you could see kind of a sell stocks, sell Bitcoin correlation there, and that should only help your safe asset classes like like gold and like your metals and such like that. And we also have to look at the printing press machine, Miss Janet Yellen coming back, and she knows how to print very well the US dollars, so that should help the metals too.
Sure. And I'm reading that Mitch McConnell said today a little earlier that a COVID stimulus compromise is within reach. So I imagine that's probably what's driving markets, and I would think that that's going to have a dampening effect on precious metals and crypto, since everybody knows with the stimulus, that just means more money flowing into the markets, probably led by the tech sector. Though, is there any risk that that the extreme premium commanded by tech stocks and the entire tech sector right now, is there any chance that it's going to be a victim of its own success and people are just going to say, you know what, I can't buy this anymore. It's trading at 300 times earnings and I just can't buy it. I'm going to go find something that makes no sense to buy because at least it's unloved, like cruise ship stocks or something. Is there any chance that that mindset is going to start to manifest in the market more broadly with this next round of stimulus?
I would think you would have some pullback in tech and let other sectors, like you said, airliners, cruise ships, some of these transportation names that have been beat down, maybe get some rotation, and maybe we see some kind of sector rotation that lasts more than a couple days. It's just, if you look at the not only the NASDAQ, but even if you look at the S&P 500, you have big tech making up so much of the S&P with your names like, Facebook and Amazon and such, that I almost feel like the stock market is technology now. It's just, and that's what's scary, is, every time we've had a dip, whether it be internet software names or big tech, it hasn't lasted. It's gotten bought right back up. And it's almost, why do something different if it's not broke? But like you said, the valuations in some of these names and the speculation in some are just, they're crazy. It really is. I think it would take like a whole financial reset to get these names to come down again.
Yeah. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I can't see anything on the horizon that could possibly be interpreted as a catalyst for a major market correction. It's nothing but good news. Like, Biden's coming in, the transition's going to be peaceful. There's a coronavirus vaccine and multiple cures coming, and there's stimulus coming from the central banks, and the wars are all over, and everybody's going to live forever. It seems like that is all we're seeing here these days.
There's so much euphoria in the markets, and everyone's just buy. That's the only thing that scares me, is everyone's too long in the tooth, the stock market. So if there is some kind of pullback and volatility, it could be aggressive and the rug can really just get pulled, and we can have that liquidation break where, here we are going back to halts and circuit breakers and just, absolute chaos in the markets. But what's the catalyst for it? Let's say the whole world goes back on lockdown because COVID cases just, go up so much. Well, what's going to happen is NASDAQ stocks, tech stocks, are probably going to benefit and rally, and more people are going to go home buying their Apple, Facebook, Snapchat, Pinterest, and everything else that's benefiting from the work at home economy. And if you look at tech, they make up such a big portion of the stock market. It's like, what can really go down? But that same mindset, when I think about that, is absolutely terrifying. That, we even have a conversation of what can cause the market to go down. But I would love to see it. I would love to just see it shock the world, and we have a whole international stock market decline. But whew, how do we get there is the question.
Thank you very much for your input as usual. We'll talk to you next week. Have a fantastic weekend.